we're here to put, additional $50, $60, $70, or $80,000 back into homeowners' pockets, as opposed to just being out the window.
Hi, this is Max Tenen with RE/MAX Fine Properties. Today I have the pleasure to sit down with Cameron DeLoach from Smart Power. Now Cameron, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Smart Power does.
Yeah, so we're a residential solar company. So we meet with a lot of homeowners who are pretty much, they're on the fence about going solar or not. They don't really know all the benefits, but they've probably heard a couple things. And so really what we're doing is we're just setting up meetings to kind of clear up all of the, the gray area about solar and just make it an obvious choice about what they want to do for their house.
Okay, and for a homeowner, what are the benefits of installing solar on their home?
So there's a lot. Really it goes from, the big picture is you're turning usually your biggest liability other than the mortgage into an asset that you can actually own. I always tell people, like, I wish we could do this with Wi-Fi or water, but we can't create those things ourselves. Fortunately that, we can with solar and create our own electricity. And so usually people's second biggest bill, which is like electricity, and a lot of times it's, especially here in Arizona and the Sun Belt area, if you can flatten that out and reduce it and make sure it never goes up again, which it usually does, subject to inflation and just what all utility companies do, and then convert that into something that you actually own, is going to add value to the home, and then make it a lot easier to budget your expenses, it's just an obvious choice.
No, absolutely. And I mean, after you go and you install the solar panels on the roof, that becomes part of your home. And so that adds value because you're paying less in the utilities, electricity. And so I guess the most common question that I get is, at what point do you break even?
Yeah, so in the past, the only way to do solar without any kind of upfront cost was you had to lease it or rent it. And really you just go from utility company number one to utility company number two, and there isn't really a lot of benefit, and there's definitely no equity in the home. The way ownership works today, instead of having to come out of pocket for it, none of our customers actually make a deposit or a down payment with us at any time. So the minute the solar gets installed, it's turned on, it's working, and they're just immediately going to pay less. So the point that they break even with solar is actually from day one.
From day one? Right,
there is no break-even point anymore.
Wow, because you think in most things, like especially in your home, when you're trying to invest in it, create more value, you got to put something in to get something out. But
right.
It sounds like, at least with your company, that it's like, all right, you go and you get it set up, and you're immediately saving money.
Right, exactly. And at the end of the day, if we're saving them 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a month from day one, that really isn't even the idea, because when we do our cost analysis and our breakdown, what it ends up showing them is that, by the time this thing is paid off, you're gonna have saved closer to 6 figures.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so let's say I go and call you up, hey Cameron, I wanna put some solar on my house. So from that call, from the time that I make that call, how long does it take to get the solar installed?
Yeah, so it depends on where we're at, really, because we could be on the roof a week later if it was just up to us, right? We're not really our own limiting factor. What we're waiting on is the city. So different cities have different permit times, and we're always waiting on a city permit and utility approval. So sometimes that can be a month, sometimes it can be 3 months. It just depends on which city you're in.
Okay. And so what else would you think that a viewer at home could benefit from knowing about your company or solar in general?
Yeah, I would say solar in general, there's a lot of different solar products out there and different types of equipment that are really important. A lot of people think, all solar is just the same, and it really isn't. What I always tell people, I say, look, unlike people, all solar is not created equal, and it's true, right? So there's different manufacturers, there's different warranties and protections. There's also different, more importantly, degradation rates every year for solar, because all solar degrades slightly over time. So, what we're bringing to the table is a very premium product that has a really low degradation rate and some of the longest protections in the industry.
So, I mean, it's like anything else. Like, you get what you pay for, whether that's a real estate agent, whether that's solar, whether that's anything else. You put a little bit extra in to get that quality product, and you get more out of it. I mean, would you say so? Yeah,
definitely. And the analogy I always use is I say, look, Max, what's your dream car?
My dream car?
10-year-old you, dream car.
I'd probably say cherry red Lamborghini.
Okay, so cherry, okay, great. So if you're gonna go to a dealership and you're gonna buy, a Honda Civic or a cherry red Lamborghini. That's one conversation, okay? But if you're already paying for the cherry red Lamborghini, and it's gonna be a permanent asset on your house that's gonna do a lot for you for the next 30, 35, 40 years, which one are you gonna rather have?
Well, probably the one that gives me the most benefit.
Exactly, right. It's the same concept with solar. If you're already paying for it, why would you get a cheaper system and a cheaper product that's probably gonna cause you some problems in the future? Right, just get the premium system that's gonna help you out the most.
No, that makes sense. Well, Cameron, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if you guys have any questions about solar and how it could benefit you or your home, give Cameron a call. If you have any questions about buying a home with solar, give me a call.